Coming up next on this edition of Maximus Aviation's Newsweek in Review. Well, in breaking news, a UK judge canceled Airbus's plan to cancel Qatar Airways. That's our top story, and I'll tell you what I know. Also, the FAA apparently still has no faith in Boeing, as they told the plane maker this week that Boeing won't be allowed to self-inspect their Dreamliners anytime soon. Well, speaking of the FAA, they're going to be looking for a new boss soon because their old boss is leaving early. I'll tell you why. And finally, it seems that during the pandemic, the friendly skies have become more like the wild, wild west. But one American Airlines flight attendant announced that there was a new sheriff in town, not with a six-shooter, but with a coffee pot. I'll tell you all about it next on Maximus. Greetings everybody, Maximus here. Well, a UK judge ordered Airbus to delay their decision to revoke a $6 billion jet order from Qatar Airways for several weeks, as the two aviation powerhouses prepare for battle in a London court. The move effectively prevents Airbus from allocating valuable early delivery slots for the popular A321neo to other airplanes, pending an early April hearing when Qatar Airways plans to seek an injunction against Airbus, asking the court to reinstate the initial A321neo contract. The two companies have been clashing for months about surface flaws on A350s, some of which have been grounded by Qatar over safety concerns. At the same time, Qatar is suing Airbus for well over $600 million. Airbus acknowledges skin and paint quality problems, but is accusing Qatar of mislabeling them as potentially dangerous in order to secure compensation. The battle escalated in January when Airbus revoked a deal with Qatar for 50 A321neos, saying its refusal to take disputed A350s had triggered a cause linking the two plane deals. In Friday's hearing, Qatar Airways condemned the decision. A Qatar Airways lawyer said they took the risk and knew it would be absolutely incendiary. We have paid $330 million for this A321 contract so far, and they knew it was a hand grenade being thrown into our bunker. Friday's technical hearing gave glimpses of what looks set to be a highly charged aviation court battle, with a hearing on Qatar's request for an injunction set for the week of April 4th and a court date on the main A350 dispute set for April 26th. But pending those hearings, a UK judge also rejected an Airbus request for more time to prepare and ordered Airbus not to do anything in the meantime that may hamper Airbus's ability to fulfill the A321neo deal if Qatar wins that injunction. Well, this week the FAA put Boeing on notice, telling them that they would be performing final inspections on all new Boeing 787 Dreamliners and still will not allow Boeing to self-certify the jets. The FAA informed Boeing that it will retain the authority to issue airworthiness certificates until it is confident that Boeing's quality control and manufacturing processes consistently produces 787s that meet FAA design standards. For their part, Boeing said it will continue to work transparently through the FAA's detailed and rigorous process. They said we will continue to engage with the FAA to ensure we meet their expectations and all applicable requirements. Boeing suspended deliveries of the 787 in late May after the FAA raised concerns about its proposed inspection methods. Well, Steve Dickson, the FAA's 18th administrator, is stepping down from the role at the end of March, halfway through his full 5-year term. Dickson informed employees of his very difficult decision in a letter on Wednesday, saying, "After sometimes long and unavoidable periods of separation from my loved ones during the pandemic, it's time for me to devote my full time and attention to them." Dickson pointed to the agency's accomplishments over the past couple of years, saying the workforce has built a stronger, more collaborative, inclusive, and open culture and reinvigorated its safety culture. "I believe we are stronger than ever," he said. During his term, Dickson has faced some unprecedented challenges, from the fallout of the Boeing MAX crashes immediately after being appointed FAA chief, to the pandemic, and more recently, he's been working through the issues surrounding the U.S.'s implementation of 5G service and its effect on aviation. And finally, on Super Bowl Sunday, 35,000 feet over the U.S. state of Missouri, 6'3", 250-pound, 50-year-old Juan Ramberto Rivas was having a bad day, and he was taking it out on pretty much everybody on American Airlines Flight 1775. But fortunately for the rest of the passengers, and unfortunately for Rivas, he picked a fight with the wrong flight attendant that day. The flight was headed from Los Angeles to Washington, D.C. When, for no apparent reason, old Ramberto Rivas walked up front to the cockpit galley and grabbed a plastic knife and promptly declared that it was his shank as he waved it in the flight attendant's face. He then grabbed a small champagne bottle and tried to break it on the counter Wild West style. But when it didn't break, that just made Ramberto even madder. So he kicked a food cart into one of the flight attendants. Then he grabbed the handle on the exit door, because of course he would, in an attempt to escape the moving aircraft 35,000 feet above the earth. It was at this point that the flight attendant had had enough and told Rivas, "Oh no you didn't." And that's when she split his melon by whacking him across the head twice with a stainless steel airline coffee pot. That was followed by a right hook to the jaw from a nearby passenger, which was immediately followed by repeated blows to Ramberto's neck, face, and torso by 3 more passengers along with an off-duty cop who flex-cuffed him and hog-tied him with duct tape. With Rivas now duct-taped like a human burrito, he was safely stowed under the first 3 aisles as the plane was diverted to Kansas City, just 40 miles away, where they promptly unloaded him into the hands of the FBI, who took the battered, bloody mess off to jail. Sadly, events like this have become all too commonplace in commercial aviation these days. But for those passengers whose trip was rudely interrupted, at least they were treated to some fun in-flight entertainment when one brave American Airlines flight attendant turned Juan Ramberto Rivas into a piñata. Well, that's going to wrap it up for now. So if you were on a flight with a crazed passenger, would you step in? Let me know down below. And before we go, I'd like to give a quick Buy Me a Coffee shout out to Pierre Frey, Christopher Sims, and Dennis. As always, I'm grateful for the support. And if you'd like to help support the channel, the links are in the description. And before you go, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, and ring the bell. And remember, leave the rubber on the runway and your troubles on the ground. And I will see you next time in the air. Yeah, this is Maximus.